On est ici avec James Derouin, entraîneur-chef de l'équipe de basketball masculin. Bonjour James, comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci.
According to you, what makes a great player?
Well, first, we start here with you got to be a great teammate first, and you can be a great player or you can be great at your role on the team, and they're both important. Hard work, toughness, all those things, skill, athleticism, all the things that you would imagine. But with us, we feel like you spend so much time with each other and on the road and in practice, and your ability to lead and your ability to be a good teammate to each other is what separates the good players from the great players. For me, what makes a great player, you look at a guy like Johnny on our team, exceptional hard worker, crazy work ethic, consistent. He's consistent. It doesn't even make sense how consistent that he is. And on top of that, he's a great teammate and he looks out for his guys and things like that. And he's the poster boy for a great player in my mind.
Can you speak about coaching great talents like Johnny and Warren back in the day, and last year you caught flash in the pan with Terry,
yeah.
And you got Caleb, a guy up and coming. Is it fun to coach these players?
Well, it's definitely fun to watch. I mean, some of the things that those four guys have done during my 5 years is pretty amazing. I think the thing that stands out about those four guys is that how different they are. They're all considered great players in their own way. But four completely different, personalities, four completely different players, and that's been the fun part, trying to find a way to make them all sort of fit together. The one consistent with all those four, obviously, or the two consistent, is Johnny and Gab, which play a big part in all those pieces fitting together. There's two great leaders. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it's watching Caleb, grow into the next one of those guys, and it's exciting. It's as a coach, you want to have that one or two players that sort of are a head and shoulders above the competition, and we've been fortunate enough to have a couple or even maybe 3 or 4 on each team. It makes for, they're good guys to work with, and but I'm a fan too. Like some of our games are, especially last year with Terry and Mike and Johnny and running the floor, and it was a lot of fun to watch. And it's hard not to get caught up in it sometimes, I got to coach, it's but now it's different this year. It's just as fun. It's different in terms of the highlights, but now it's about ball movement and sharing, and you can see the chemistry with this group. Again, it's a lot of fun to watch, and it's those four guys and a few others have made it pretty special.
So Caleb's got next, but are you already looking for the guy that's going to be after Caleb?
Oh, no question. one guy that stands out in my mind is Brandon Robinson, who you wouldn't have seen much so far this year on our team. Very similar to, you wouldn't have seen much of Caleb in his first year. And of course, in the recruiting and things like that, we're always trying to move forward, finding the next top player. But it'll come around different now, because I think you'll see them more like Caleb and more like Matt Plunkett this year. You're going to see them come through the program and not just sort of walk on and make an impact. We really think Brandon and Mackenzie are going to be really special players, but you don't get to see them very often quite yet.
Could you draw me up one of your favorite plays or your favorite play?
Yeah. So probably, the guys know that, we don't run a lot of, we run a lot less plays now than we did when I first started, just because we've changed our style quite a bit. But the guys know this is my go-to play. We call it shuffle, and it's nothing complicated, and it's a play that originated from the national team and Coach Cates in Toronto, and then Coach Derouin and I work together, and then it's just kind of a play that's kind of just
Grew from
it's just lasted. We have it as part of our. Mike comes down, finds Vic as the trail post, swing it to Caleb here, and Johnny comes off of the screen down here off of Gab. So now Caleb's got the ball. While that's happening, Vic goes and gets Mike. Mike comes back and get the ball, and then Vic comes around to set one staggered screen. So Johnny now starts here. Mike gets the ball back, and Johnny comes off of the double screens right here for him. And Mike dribbles over, and you finds Johnny right there for 3.
Minus.
Did I pass the test?
Yes, you did. You did.
I could do that for
hours.
Yes.
Minus winning a national championship is the program where it is where you want it to be when you first take the job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the winning or not winning a national championship to me is not important. I mean, it's important, but it's not the the measure for success. We wanted our program to be in the mix for a national championship every single season, and I felt like we've been there the last 3 years. And on top of that, I wanted to build a program where the players wanted to keep playing, and my measure for that is when the player's done their 5th year, do they wish they had a 6th? The season's tough. It's regular students and fans don't really know how much work these guys put in and how much they sacrifice, and like Christmas break and no spring break, and it's hard. It's hard to play 5 years, and I wanted to make sure that at the end of the season, even in your 1st or 2nd year, you weren't glad it was over. You really wanted to play another week. We've got a really good team. We got a great bunch of guys and who work their tails off, to represent our university, right? So I mean, that's it's a kind of getting off topic, but that's if we can bring that professionalism to the court when someone does come to a game, and then they see how we play and they see the product on the floor, and that's all part of the package that we're trying to present to our fans, right? And it still has a long way to go in my mind. I think that the kids on our team and on Andy's team, and they deserve a lot more support from our school. We got 40,000 students. We had 700 people at the Ryerson game. It was a good crowd. The people that were there were enthusiastic, but we should be selling out games in my mind. And I think that comes from just a lack of total understanding and appreciation or education about what these guys do and who they are and what they sacrifice. And I think if more people were aware of what a student athlete, not just basketball, but gave up on a day-to-day basis, I think that more people would be supportive. I think that we'd see more students at games.
Well, coach, merci beaucoup.
No, you're welcome.
Bon succès cette saison et dans le futur.
Merci, merci.